there's a lot of stuff going on in this area because I'm going to show you some of the mini albums I've made over the past few weeks. These are just a sampling of them. I think I have an example of every design, like every like layout album design that I've done, but I've made like multiples of most of them in different like papers and stuff. But I'm just gonna like show you one of each, and this might take a little while. So I will put chapters to jump between the different albums, though I don't really know what to call them because like these two are the same size, and this one is like just the vertical of this. No, this one, and this one's different, and then this, yeah. So I'll figure out a way to like label them in the chapters, but I think I'll start with like smaller to bigger, make a pile, precarious and stuff. Yeah, that's gonna fall. Okay. So we'll start with this little guy. It is a 4x4 album, meaning it will fit a 4x4 photo inside it. The cover is actually 4.5 by 4.5, and it's about 1 3/4 of an inch wide. For most of them, I just like decorate the covers with a bit of like matted on some foil paper and just that, and have my stamp on the back, and they're pretty simple. I love like super decorated, chunky albums with lots of stuff going on. Like I love the look of those. I just don't have the inclination or patience to do that myself, and I really do like this kind of clean, simple look. Plus I just feel like it's easier to like fit places, and I don't know. It suits my taste better in terms of what I like to make and what I like to have, I guess. But I really love looking at other people who do like all sorts of stuff on their covers. Like I do love that. And I usually tend to use like one paper collection per album just so that everything kind of goes together. So this one, I think it's a Heidi Swapp collection. I'm not going to remember all of them, I don't think, but I'll try to mention if I do. So this one is a really simple layout in that it's just got like a front or an inside cover on the front and back that are just like a pocket with a card in it. The card, you can fit a 4x4 photo on there. You might have to like trim the corners a little bit, but like, I mean, it should fit. And then you've got some space here you can write on it because it's just like plain cardstock. You could stick another photo there. You can add more things into this pocket, like ticket stubs and whatever. And then you've got the same on the back, another little card. And then there's just like 3 page designs that repeat twice each on 3 signatures. So the first one has this card, and it's a fold-out card, and it's used to lock these flaps in place. So again, you've got lots of places to put photos. You can write on it. You can stick photos, memorabilia, journal, whatever. It's got a pocket here that you can add other stuff to, and then you just slide the back part of this folder in behind the flaps and the front part into that pocket, and now it like stays shut without magnets, which is really great for like a beginner album where you might not want to invest in magnets. And this one, again, it stays shut without magnets because it uses a card to close it. Again, you can put a photo on it. You can put a photo on the front. It uses these bands that you slide the card into, and then it keeps these flaps closed. And you can, again, put more photos, tickets, drawings, whatever you want to document your trips, your days, your life, your special occasions, whatever. And then this one is just 2 pockets. So again, you can easily put stuff in them, and it comes with a little folder that's just for putting more photos and stuff. And it fits all the way in the back, and you can see this pocket goes all the way to the bottom. So they're stacked pockets, which is kind of cool. So it looks like it's only going to be that deep, but it's actually the whole page. Anyway, this design repeats, so it's another folded card with the flaps. And I like to use a combination of like the pattern papers and the solid cardstock just to give options. So it's like You can write on stuff, you can stick photos and not worry about covering too much of the decorative paper. So yeah, that's another one with the card and the straps, and then another stacked pocket with a folder. And I already showed you the back pocket with the card. And this one has like a little journaling spot where you can write a bit of details about what it is. So that's album number 1. A little cute little 4x4. This is super adorable, really. And I mean, like, these are good. A, they're good beginner albums to make, and B, good gifts to give because it's not going to take up a lot of space in someone's home. Like, it's nice to give people handmade things, but like, people only have so much space, right? And this one will be available in my shop once the next update happens. I'm not sure when that is yet, but it will be available. There will probably be 1 or 2 more of this design. So if you're not inclined to get all the supplies and tools to make this yourself, but you do like this kind of thing, and then this one will be, you know, one of the more reasonably priced ones because it's smaller. It doesn't take as much material or time. So it's a good option again for gifts or your own memories. If you go on a trip, they're great for documenting like trips and stuff. Next, I have this horizontal 4x6 album, though again, it's 4.5 by 6.5, so it fits an actual 4x6 photo inside. And again, it's got the spine is like 1 3/4, which is pretty much what I use for most of my albums that I make for the shop, because these will fit in the mailing boxes I have, because they're only 2 inches deep. And I didn't want to buy a bunch of different sizes of mailing boxes when I don't even know how many of these will sell. So I tried to like design them to fit in the boxes. And again, I use the like foil paper to mat the cover, and I put a little chipboard on there and I stamp the back. Yeah, so it's again, simple, cute, whatever. And then this one, again, it just has a few page designs that repeat, but it repeats in a symmetrical way. So I'll show you. So the inside cover has this card, and you can fit a photo or write on it, flap it open, photo, writing, photo, stick stuff in, tickets, whatever. Like, you get the idea. The flaps and pockets, you can do whatever you want with them. And I'm very into the flaps and pockets. I've tried doing other elements like waterfalls and stuff, but I don't enjoy it as much personally, even though I think they're cool. So this one has a card that folds, and again, it holds these flaps closed without a magnet. And I think this collection is Maggie Holmes' Sunny Days. Maybe? I don't remember. This one just has like a stacked pocket. Again, this goes all the way down, so you can see this card and it will go all the way in. This card is about 4x6. I think you might have to trim a 4x6 photo if you want a border around it, but you can just, you know, maybe it's supposed to go that way. I don't know. And again, you can like write on here. You can glue little photos here. You can stick stuff behind it to keep this in place. And then it's just got a band here that kind of holds that card in place. And then when you flip the page, you've got another band and card because the designs repeat. So like the style of the page repeats. And you've got the stacked pockets, and you can, again, like, these are great for just like sticking loose stuff that you get on trips, that you get from events, whatever. And then this again is the card and the flaps. And this is another one that's a really simple design, and I was able to make like several at a time. And the card and the flap, and so because of that, they're like pretty easy to make, and again, fairly like inexpensive as a result of that. So that's why I made like several of these, because I figure it's a good way to get your hands on a mini album if you're interested in this without spending tons and tons of money, because some of them can be very expensive because of the number of hours and the amount of material. Like, I can go through a whole roll of adhesive on some of these bigger albums, and that stuff's not cheap, you know? So it's an expensive craft at times, but kind of simplifying with stuff like this makes it a lot easier to make some like more affordable options. And now this one is basically the same as the last one. It's again 4.5 by 6.5, but it's vertical, and it has the same layouts. They're just, you know, turned. So you have the flap with the little pocket, you have the card that holds the flaps in place. And so it kind of, you know, depends if you have more vertical photos or more horizontal photos. I prefer the horizontal for this size though, personally, so I have more of those ones. But yeah, you have the double pockets, you have the card with the band, and another card with a band. Let's show you back, there's nothing on there. And the pockets and the card. I don't remember the name of this paper collection. It's one from Michael's. I think I got it from HomeSense, so it was only like $10 or something. It was really great value. And it, like, this was like a big paper pad too, so there's like a lot of paper in it. I've made several albums from it so far, and I still have a lot left. And then card flap. So not too much to show there. That's basically just the same thing. Now this one, which is also a 4.5 by 6.5, is a different design. This is one that I just kind of, sometimes I just get in a mood where I just want to make an album and I just want to wing it. So I just kind of make up the construction as I go, often based on what size pieces of cardstock I have after I've cut like different pieces out. So that's how I often like come up with my designs, and then I'll like write down what I did so I can like recreate it. But I really like this one and I'd like to make more. And as you can see, I do the foil on it, and I added a little bit of trim. So like this one took a bit more time to put together, but it's still relatively simple. The inside cover has this little corner pocket that you can tuck stuff in. Right now it has a triple folder card thing, so you can put several photos in here. I don't know that you can fit a lot else in this pocket with this in there, but then this design is a bit different. It's kind of like the other ones in that this folder keeps this flap shut, but it's held down with bands. So this is like a band. It's not a pocket, which maybe is a little less practical, although you can still stick stuff in here and it won't fall through because of the bottom. But for the top, this is mostly just to keep it locked in place, based on the size of cardstock scraps that I had, because I didn't want to waste stuff. And then this Paige design has a little flap up top that's like Velcroed. And then there's a little tiny pocket with a tiny card. This is like business card size. It's so cute. I don't know what, I feel like you just like write a little note about like what photos you put in here or something. And then there's a card that you can put photos on. You can just like add a bunch more photos into here, and it will mostly like keep them in. Like you don't want to be throwing these around, because if you like, stuff might slide out the side if you're like really careless with them, but like most people aren't. And then the design just repeats. Like this is another one of the folder with the flap and the bands. And then another one with the flap, the little card, another card. And there's just like lots of just little like nooks and crannies for adding photos and bits of journaling and other ephemera and stuff. But still like simple. I like the simple design. Like I know people can do some really like impressive stuff with very intricate designs that open in so many ways, but like I like a bit of simplicity in mine. in terms of what I like to make and use. But if you like more complicated stuff, by all means. So yeah, there's just like, it's simple in that they just repeat, and then I have like, I only have to cut the same size pieces like several times rather than cutting a bunch of different little sizes. And then the double. So there's that one. This one is a little bit different. Not only is it a different size, this one will fit 5 by 7. Actually, not most of the pages will only fit like a 4 by 6, but it is a 5.5 by 7.5, or 5.25 by 7.25. I think it's 5.25 by 7.25. I have these written down somewhere, but this isn't a tutorial how to make it. I'm not giving you all the dimensions of everything. And this one's only about 1 inch wide, I think. And it is a folio. So rather than having hinges with pages on it, it opens and you have 2 halves that are kind of mirrored. So you have like layers of stuff going on. So the first layer here, you have these angled pockets that you can stick anything you want in there. They flap open like this, and then these ones actually pull out, and you have spots for more photos, for writing stuff, whatever you want. Then this layer has flaps that get locked with a card in a pocket. So again, you can put something on the back, you can write, you can add anything. And then that flips open, you can add another photo here. You have this little card here, and it actually is magnetically shut to reveal a little pocket that's just like in there. I think that's really cute. And then you open it up, you have another area that like, I tried to use like simple patterns here so that you could easily put a photo on it and you're not like disturbing a really busy pattern. And then this little card comes out and it's a folder as well. And it just slides into this band. And this band has a bit of depth to it. It's got a 1/8 inch gusset, so you can actually fit more stuff in there. So if you just wanted to have like several photos or cards, like if you got, you know, birthday cards or something, you could put some in there. And then this side is basically the same thing. There's a little little pocket there. You open it up, you have this band with the card. And I use like the same papers on both sides, so they're very like symmetrical. I do like symmetrical albums a lot. I just find it fun to do. Although albums where like every single page is completely different are also really fun. So yeah, that's, and this one has a bit of trim on the spine and a little little like raised label that you can write like the date of whatever the event is that you're doing this. Like this might be fun for like a really like funky wedding or something, or for a trip or a birthday, or just, you know, documenting your year, or I don't know, anything. And this is the last design I'm going to share. This one's one of my favorite designs. I spent a lot of time figuring this out, trying to get it to work. I have a few like prototypes that, you know, I tweaked along the way. And I really like this one because the cover is like wrapped in the pattern paper, and then it has this like spine. It just kind of makes me feel like a vintage journal, or like something, yeah, old that's been passed down. And I kind of try to make the covers of these ones look almost like they're made of fabric or something. Like this is the other, or this is another one that I made in the same style, and I use this like paper that almost looks like a quilt. And again, it's got a label so you can write down like what is in here. But what I like about this one is that it's, you know, black and white at the front, and you open it and it's got a lot going on. So on the inside cover, you have a large pocket here for, you can fit, I think you could fit a 5 by 7 photo in there. You can at least fit 4 by 6. there's like a shallow pocket here, a tall pocket here, and another shallow pocket here, and then a little card that you can add a photo to. Now these ones, I've added white paper that has removable adhesive on the back that you can take this off and put your photos here, just because like there's so much going on in here that I thought it might be helpful to kind of show like here's a good place to put your photo. That you could obviously put anything there. You can just take it off completely. Like these are really up to you to do what you want with them. So the first page design, and this one again is symmetrical, so the first page and the last page are going to be the same design. Has a card with a spot on the back. You can write on there, you can put a photo, anything. And then flaps up like this, and you have 3x4 photos here and here. You have 2x3 photos here. You can write a bit about those photos there. Then this closes up. And you have a little card that you can stick a 4x6 photo on that slots in there. And you can add more photos in there if you want. And then you open to the next page, and a lot going on again. So this one has a flap. So you can flap that open. You have room for a 4x6 photo. You have a little, like, it's not quite a pocket. It's just a little, like, it doesn't have any depth to it, but you can slide like one card or something in there, and then you could like write a little bit about this photo if you want, or you could take this out completely and just make it look like it's just layered paper. And then these come out of the pockets, and you can have 3x4 photos on there. So there's, oh, that one's cute. Oh, I'm surprised I used this in here and I didn't hoard it for myself, honestly. Okay. And then this side, I have a like sideways pocket here that I've just put like a card in. This fits a 4x4 photo. And then in the middle of this page, this comes out. You have room for a photo. You've got another little like spot to tuck stuff back here, and it just slots right in the opening of this page like that, and then it like sticks out so you can see it. And then this page has two pockets. I think these are stacked. Yeah, that will get lost back there if you put it there. This one has photo space on it. It's just a little tag. You can put like a little ribbon on it if you want to have that. I just don't know that everyone wants that amount of bulk, so I just left it out, but you can always just like, yeah, add a ribbon, because sometimes I like having ribbons coming at the top of my like albums and journals and stuff. This side, I have some space for photos, but you could just take this off and just like write a bunch of journaling there. And then this card comes out. I love the shape of this card. Here I've put two photos. You could put one larger photo, a bit of room to write about whatever it is, and it just slides in there. And then we get to the center of it, and you have these kind of mirrored angled pockets, and I just put some cards in. So this one has room for a photo. This one is a little like tag with a photo. Just thought that was cute. And now we get into the same. So this is basically the same as this, but I've just put a different size photo there. More photos there. The pockets again. Here's a little card. And then this page again is like the other one before. I just have a different card here. And then this comes out of the main part of the page, and there's again spot on the back. This flap, you have cards that come out of the pockets. What's this one? Oh, that's little hearts. Space for a photo, a little space to tuck this little card that you can write about the photos in this area. And then the back, again, is like the front. You have your photo mat there. This card that comes out, again, you can write on it. Here's more photo spaces. And the back pocket here. This is a longer card, so it fits in that deeper pocket. So there's a secret little photo back there. I just thought that was really cute. You just see this little bit and then you pull it out and you're like, oh, there's a photo. I love little bits like that. And so it just makes me really excited to get to put all those in. So like obviously this one, I will be honest, takes a lot longer than the other ones. So I don't intend to do a tutorial on how to make this because it would take a heckin' long time to make that tutorial and to show you, and it's a lot of stuff going on. But it also means that these ones are going to be a little bit more expensive in my shop, and I realize that it might not be within a lot of people's budget, and that's unfortunate, but like the amount of material and time that goes into making this, not to mention the amount of time I've spent designing this and all the ones I made that didn't work out, and like, so like the amount of material and time I've put into just learning how to make something like this and then making it, these are not cheap. And I think that this is something that can be said for a lot of handmade things. And if you're watching this, you probably know, you probably are a handcrafter, or you at least appreciate things that are handcrafted, and you know the amount of time and material that goes into making these things. They are not cheap, and I think people undervalue, because it's like you could buy a photo album from the dollar store and that's not what this is. If you want a photo album from the dollar store, go do that. This is not where you want to look, but you're not going to get this from it, right? So if this isn't your thing, that's cool. You don't have to like it. It's completely fine. You know, but like, appreciate that when people make things by hand, it takes a lot, not only the time it takes to make the thing, but the time it takes to learn how to get good enough to make that thing, especially if they design it themselves. Like, I know that's why a lot of people who do crafts, especially like people who do knitting and quilting and things, like they just will not sell their stuff because no one's willing to pay what it's worth. And I don't know that anyone's willing to pay what this is worth in terms of my time and materials, but I'm putting it out there anyway and see what happens. But it was fun to make, and I hope that somebody out there will enjoy it one day. And then quickly, I just thought I would show you this other one that's the same style and just how like it looks different, just kind of based on the papers used. So it's like, it's a very different vibe. This one's very like vintagey and warm, and this one's very funky and bright, and like I love that about paper collections. I think this one is Maggie Holmes Market Square, and I love that about paper collections because I can kind of explore all these different, you know, vibes that I like, all these different styles and colors that I like that maybe don't all go together at once, but I can make, you know, different albums for each one, and I just think that's really fun. Oh, look at that. That is cute. Why didn't I keep that for myself? Oh well, hopefully it will go to a nice home. Anyway, that is it. And by that is it, I mean I spent 30 minutes recording this. I hope this also gave you an idea of what is in these albums, because if you've never seen one before, you might not know what it's for or how it works. And I also think, like, personally, I was like afraid of all these interactive elements when I saw them. And like, I find that when people come and look at these, they're afraid to like pull cards out and open flaps and stuff. But like, if you make one or if you buy one, you are allowed to like open it. I mean, don't be rough with it, but like, they're meant to be interacted with. That's why they're interactive albums. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this gave you some idea and maybe inspired you to take up this craft for yourself. I will be posting some more videos about the tutorial for this, as well as just some like tips for getting started. I'm no expert. I've only been doing this for a couple of years, and it's really just something I pick up every few months is like my hyperfixation for that 3-week period or whatever. But I've learned a lot in that time, and hopefully I can like share some of that with you. And yeah, maybe you'll want to take up this hobby, or maybe you'll be like, oh, that looks like a great gift for my grandma or whatever. Like, it's honestly, if you have a bunch of photos for like from like a trip with a loved one or something, like I've said before, you just get one of these albums and you just like print out the photos and stick them in. You give it as a gift to that person, and it's like you made it because you put all the photos together. You put the thought into that gift. It's a thoughtful gift because you created the experience with all the photos, and this is just like the vessel you use to present it in. So like you kind of get the best of both worlds of like a handmade gift, but you didn't have to put hours and hours and hours into making it. So thank you for watching, and let me know if you are already like a mini album fanatic, or if this is brand new to you, or if you're intrigued now, or if you've never made them before and you want to start, or if you make them all the time and you want to share your own favorite like components. Like, do you really like waterfalls? Do you really like pull down waterfalls? Like, there are some really cool interactive features that I don't do in mine just because it's not my thing, but I still love them, and so I'd love to hear what your favorites are if you're a mini album-er. And I will talk to you soon with probably more mini album videos or something. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.